So here we are today. I am joined by a very special guest, filmmaker Michael Frolichstein, who has done the documentary The CELIAC Project. Michael, first of all, thank you so much for joining me here on Movie Show Plus.
Oh, Tom, it's an honor. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so just as it happens, when this is airing here in the Detroit area, I know people can see this all over the place on our website and everywhere else. But as this is airing on television right now, it actually happens to be September 13th, which is National Celiac Awareness Day. Your film, of course, is all about celiac disease and your personal experiences. Let me just start off by telling you that what I loved about the film is that it's not a lecture. You know, a lot of these films are kind of like, here, you know, this is what it is, and here is how it affects you, and here, like, all these scientific facts. You really personalized this disease with how it affected you and your family, and I thought that was a much more effective way of kind of getting it across. What can you tell people about the film and your experiences and the fact that you yourself have celiac?
Well, first, thank you very much, Tom. I appreciate that. I thought it was challenging as a filmmaker to tackle something that's very medical, right?
Yeah, right.
But I knew that what needed to ground the the film was a story, and I was actually, the funny thing is, I didn't want to be at all part of the film. So
Sure.
I got diagnosed with celiac approximately 11 years ago, and I knew within about a month that I wanted to do something to raise awareness. So as I was making the film, early on, just before I started it, my daughter got diagnosed with celiac, and it became much more personal to me. And then after I had started, my nephew, who was mostly asymptomatic, got diagnosed. And then I reluctantly, at the urging of my wife, who was a co-producer, and another friend, Jason Betke, who was my other producer, kind of got pushed in front of the camera, which I wasn't really excited about, but realized really the emotional center of the film was my story and my family's stories.
So this is very personal to me too, because my wife has been diagnosed with celiac about 7 years ago, and she watched the film with me too. And I guess talk about the balance there, because, you know, I mentioned already about like the scientific talk versus like the personal story, but also you're kind of, there's a fine line because you're trying to make the film for people that aren't aware. You want to raise awareness, so people coming into this who don't know what celiac is, they kind of do need some facts and they need to have some context. But also for people like my wife, what she got out of the film is she loved. It's like whenever you go through something, you think it's just you, and then when you see other people have gone through it too, it creates this really, you know, good feeling inside. So she felt this really good thing. When you're making a film and you're trying to hit a new audience, but also kind of embrace the celiac community, talk about that fine line.
Well, I'm so happy that was, when I hear that someone with celiac or someone without celiac, that they have that reaction. I guess that is the thing that makes me happiest.
Sure.
I think what I'm doing, I'm trying to tell the story of celiac in a really relatable way. And I've gotten a lot of that feedback where people say exactly what you're telling me your wife said, which is, I don't feel so alone. Now you've put out into the world how the experience of living with celiac is, what it was like pre-diagnosis. And I just want to demystify that. I want to create a community around this. That's why the podcast now. So really my goal was, I was just on a certain level. It's that sort of cliche, Tom, where it's like, if you can affect one person where they don't feel so alone. I felt like some of my goals were, if one person could see this and realize that's me, like, and get diagnosed. So I've gotten that feedback that's all happened. So it's really a wonderful, really gratifying experience to hear that people, feel that sort of community feeling from watching this, that they're part of something. And I really want to create community around this.
The movie is The Celiac Project. Michael, again, thank you so much for sharing your story with the world, getting this out for people. I think it is an important thing for people to be aware of. And I really liked the film and enjoyed it. My wife, again, got a lot out of it as well. And how can people find the film? How can people, find out more about your podcast and other things you have going on?
Okay, so our website is celiacproject.com, and you can find links to recently, the film is now on Amazon. The easiest way to see it is go on our website or go right on Amazon and just type in the Celiac Project. And if you like podcasts, we have a absolutely free weekly. It comes out every Wednesday morning, the Celiac Project podcast, wherever you find podcasts. I believe we're the number one celiac gluten-free podcast.
Great.
You can reach out to me. You can email me through the website. And if anybody out there has any real specific questions, I'm happy to help any way I can.